Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Samantha Crowley joining us here today again, our head designer and co-owner at SC Custom Interiors from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She joins us again here live to talk about the work she does and bringing your ideas to life. Welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. It's good to be back. Thanks, Jill. I'm good. I'm glad to see that you're feeling better too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for checking in. I am. It was
Yeah.
a rough week, but definitely better getting the voice back. I'm almost there. What's new with you? How are you? For new time listeners, they're like, who's SC Custom Interiors? So tell us just a little bit about you, the work you do as well.
Yeah. So people that don't know, that haven't seen me on here before, I am the head designer at SC Custom Interiors down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We do all residential, commercial, new builds and remodels, interior design, everything like that. So can always take a look at our stuff on sccustominteriors.com. And right now I'm working.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to keep up with projects. I think we've got about 15 projects going on right now. And I have people, my husband is out wrangling everybody, trying to make sure things are going well. So we're just under construction on a lot of things, remodels and new builds right now.
Oh my goodness. And husband is Chris, right?
Husband is Chris, yes.
Tell us about this dynamic duo, the two of you working together. How does it work?
Well, Chris was actually in timeshare when I first met him. He was working with Wyndham Worldwide and doing timeshare. And then we had a really bad hurricane down here back in 2018. And he got into hurricane restoration with a lot of the homes that were affected by it. So that's kind of where the whole renovation remodeling thing was born from. And I started helping him on some of that stuff while I had a full-time job. And over COVID, we decided to open up our own company together so we could offer interior design that I specialize in, and then all of the remodels and new builds and construction type things that he takes care of. And we combine both of them. So we're a husband and wife team when it comes to doing projects now.
The dynamic duo. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, how do we find you? Could you share their website and all
Yeah.
forms of contact?
Yeah, sccustominteriors.com is our website. You can contact us on the connect form on there. And also our phone number is 843-457-1749.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Excited to have you back. And let's get started. What did you want to share with your audience for today?
So I really wanted to talk about trends right now because a lot of people are starting to remodel homes, like it being warmer outside and doing that whole spring refresh kind of a thing. So I wanted to share some of the top trends that I love, that's
Sure.
really been popular, especially when it comes to new kitchen remodels and things like that. I've seen a lot of organic styles coming back through, a lot of clean color palettes. My favorite now is this high-low viola marble. It
Oh,
is absolutely gorgeous. More of a white ivory background with this deep black purple veining all the way through it. Sourced out of Italy. It's a Carrara marble, and it is super popular out in California along the West Coast, but I've seen it trickle in more towards the East Coast because a lot of people want to get away from the beach vibes and they want to have more of a modern aesthetic in their home, and they want to do a lot of this natural palette. So we've seen a lot of neutral colors come back like we saw in the early 2000s, but now also they're bringing in all of this texture and all of this movement from the outside and bringing the outside in, which is super cool to do and
yeah.
super awesome to see the transition between a lot of these beach homes that I'm used to seeing with a lot of more modern and transitional vibes down here. So that's one thing that's been amazing just to work with, and this different type of stone and these palettes that everybody's kind of pulling in. I found a
Yeah.
new love for
I
this
don't know what
modern.
the stone looks like. Could you share
Okay.
like what
So if I was on my
can you
computer,
share
I
your
could show it
screen?
to you,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
but I'm going to show you anyway. I'm just
All
going to
right,
turn
good.
you around.
Thank you.
I'm just going to turn you around.
Sure,
Um
that's fine.
because this is now, a lot of people kind of shy away from marble just because it's one of those I don't know, it's kind of difficult to keep up with and take
Okay.
care of. It's very soft. So you run into this like Calcutta style that is beautiful. And they actually make it in a quartz now too. They have figured out how to kind of man make it. And it's this general style of this
Mm-hmm.
veining in here. So I'm going to flip you around just so you can see it.
Sure.
So you'll see a lot of the high low in here with the lighter background, this deep onyx color veining all the way through. And this has been
Ooh,
extremely popular.
wow.
It's
Is that like a navy blue or that's black? I can't really tell.
it's actually a couple different variations. So you
Or
can
is it
see,
violet?
yeah, it's actually all three because in certain spots it's black, certain spots it's navy blue, and then it kind of filters out and it does turn into this like purple violet color. It is quarried out of Italy. So the veining in here shows different shapes and everything is going to be different, but it does add this modern extravagance to the design when you put it in a kitchen or a bathroom. And what's cool about this is you can book match the stone, which means you can do one on one side and then another slab and it be on the other side and kind of mirror each other.
Awesome. Now, just curious, I don't know much about stone and the prices. Is marble one of the more expensive types? Is that one that we need a
Yeah,
sealant for? Is it more high maintenance? Is it less maintenance? Yeah, I get confused between that and granite, to be honest.
all of the above.
Okay.
um, so marble is a higher price point. You're going to see that on the higher end of things, especially the Calcutta marble. You're going to see that a little higher than you would a granite or a quartz. Granite is going to be like your lowest, and then you're going to get upwards towards the quartz and the quartzite, and then you're going to get into the specialty stones, as I like to call them, and marble is one of those.
Okay.
When
Interesting.
it comes to taking care of that, you do have to seal it. You have to seal it with a special type of sealer, and you have to clean it with certain types of solvents. It can't be anything harsh, otherwise it'll mess it up. So this is also one of those stones that's hard to do in a
Yep.
kitchen because of the heat. You can't put something directly from the stove or the oven directly onto it. It'll mess it up. So you have to
Got
have
it.
a holder. So when you're looking at doing a certain stone, I always visit with people and
Okay.
find out how they actually live. Like, what is their day to day in the kitchen? The kitchen is the heart of the home, but if you're going to be cooking and you're going to be doing a lot of things like that, you don't want to mess up your countertops. So if people say, I really want marble, and they cook
Mm-hmm.
a lot and they're always in there cleaning and everything, it's probably not the best idea. So that way we can figure out what they like and switch over to a more hardy stone like a quartz or a granite. And we can search for things that do have this similar style to it.
Got it. All right. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now, also, what other trends are we seeing happening in with countertops in particular? Is it really just the marble right now? What about synthetic versus the natural stone?
Yeah. So with synthetic versus natural, it really depends on, like, again, your lifestyle, what you want to do to take care of it, what you want to see in your space. So I do like a lot of synthetic stones. It's just easier to take care
I
of.
was going to say, like for myself with kids, the mess, the slop right now during this ages, would you recommend that? I think I'm trying to think what
Yeah.
I have downstairs in my house. I moved into a home that was maybe 20 years old, but it was redone, briefly by a contractor. So I think it's
Right.
granite. I
Yeah.
think it's granite, but it seems okay. It's dark, so I don't see the mess, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, the granite is the most hardy of the stones, honestly. You can really do whatever with it. It doesn't give itself to a lot of the fun patterns and the types of veining that you see in quartz and quartzite and salastone and things like that. But it's more spotted, if you will, and that's harder to keep clean, I think, because you can't see anything on the countertop because
Yeah.
everything is kind of camouflage, you know? Um, we are still seeing a lot of quartz everywhere.
Okay.
The white quartz with the large gray veining, the more natural colors that people can use in their homes and just put different colors around. It makes it a lot easier. And one of the biggest trends that I'm seeing still is the waterfall island in a lot of homes. They want
What
to see their countertop go from the top down to the sides.
That's what I was going to say. See, I don't have that. I have the wood that or fake wood that's all chipped on the sides from people kicking it and stuff falling on the sides. That's called a waterfall. So you do
It's
the
called a
whole stone
waterfall.
over it. That
Yes.
that I think it makes more sense to a lot of people with a lot of company, a lot of children in the house.
It does, and I absolutely love the look of it because it does give you a more elevated and a high-end look with having a waterfall edge. It
Yeah.
does take more material and pricing is going to be higher just because of how they have to cut the slab and the installation process with that. But doing that with an
Yeah.
overhang on your island makes you have a more custom look. And to spend a little more money on having that
Yep.
waterfall edge, the resale value on the home is going to automatically go up just because of custom features like that.
Got it. All right, good to know. I like that though. That makes a lot of sense. Like nobody told me, even like for example, here I have this, old school kitchen sink. I guess it's an undermount, but so all the fake wood or whatever it is for my cabinets in the front, it's all peeling already. Like, don't they now like do the whole style where you put the kitchen, like the big basin in and it's like a lip? What do you call that? So it's you're not getting the wood wet from your cabinet. It's like the basin
Oh,
up.
yeah. So with the sink, you can have an undermount and that is totally concealed, like underneath the cabinet, or you can have an apron on the front of your sink, and that's
Okay.
going to be the more exposed front, like a farmhouse sink.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like that's just things you're learning over time. Like, wow, I should have done that because now all the cabinets in the front are like, peeling. It just doesn't make sense.
Yes. And we've seen a lot of cabinets that people will just do paint on their cabinets. So we're having to refinish
Okay.
their cabinet doors. Now, if their cabinet boxes are fine and they can be still used and we like the template of the kitchen, we'll keep the cabinet boxes, refinish those, and order new doors and new pulls. And it literally saves you hundreds of dollars on redoing your entire kitchen by utilizing what you already have in your
Mm-hmm.
footprint and then just upgrading your doors and your hardware so that way you have a brand new kitchen, but it's a little more cost effective for those that are on a tighter budget.
Got it. All right. Thank you. What other trends are we seeing, especially in, your area? You are in Myrtle Beach. Explain to us the genre, the area of work. I know it's a lot of waterfront type of homes, but not always. You have inland homes as well.
Yeah, we do. We have inland homes, and those tend to be a little more traditional, stick built homes that, they're a little more out in the country. So we tend to have a lot more work on the water. It's just because of the nature of the
Yeah.
business right down here. We do a lot of condos and rental properties and things like that. A lot of people stay away from carpet down here. We don't see a lot of carpet. We don't see a lot of real hardwoods. If you do find a home with real hardwoods, or even a condo I walked into that was oceanfront had real hardwoods, I was shocked because of the humidity down here. It's
Tell
hard
me,
to
it's
keep
got a
up.
buckle, no?
It does. And the real wood, it expands and contracts over time. So having real hardwoods with the humidity and the high heat level and the water down here, it makes it very, very difficult to keep those in good condition. You're probably going to have to refinish them, take them up, replace some boards over time. So we see a lot of luxury vinyl plank flooring. It's waterproof. It has a great price point. It comes in an array of colors. It looks like real hardwoods, and you can do different dimensions and different sizes on your flooring. So that is probably number one what we see in flooring down here, because it is so easy to take care of, and it's pretty indestructible. You can drop things on it and not worry about it getting messed up. So it makes it very easy.
Luxury vinyl plank. And what I like about that, which I don't have in my home, but I don't might have mentioned this before, but I can't stand in my home the old school tiles and the grout is so thick and the grout's all stained in the middle because stuff drops. Like those are things you don't think about. Now with the
Yeah.
vinyl flooring, it's kind of
It's
immediate. There's
butted
no
against
grout
each
line,
other.
right?
Exactly. So what they do is they use like a rubber mallet, and they sandwich all of that together, and they actually just there's one that's called a click and lock, and you can actually click it down and it locks in place with the other pieces of flooring. So you literally just run it all the way through the house.
Got it.
So it keeps things together and you don't have grout lines. And that's one thing I have to remind people that do buy properties down here is if you're doing a custom shower, custom backsplash, any kind of tile work with grout, you need to check your water in your areas.
Oh.
your water, if it has certain minerals in it, if it's hard water, anything
Okay.
like that, you're going to get those discolorations in lighter grouts. So I have a client that wants to do a white backsplash with a white grout. And I had to remind them, you guys are not from down here. Myrtle Beach water is extremely hard. And we have a lot of, lime and rust buildup over time on grout. It's very hard to keep clean.
Yeah.
So to keep that into consideration when you're selecting your grout color, you may want to go with a darker one just so it's easier to take care of and it
Ah,
doesn't stain.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I did that downstairs this time when I did the basement with the porcelain floors. I said, I'm doing dark gray grout because it was the basement. And they said, don't do the vinyl, don't do, even though it's waterproof. God forbid you have a flood in a basement. At least in New York, they would advise me to make sure you do the tile down there.
Yes. It makes it so much easier to take care of because if you do have a flood, the only thing you're really replacing, as long as, the tile and everything is good and the weight hasn't cracked anything of the water, if you do flood down there, you're really just replacing your baseboard, your
Yeah,
quarter round, and maybe some sheetrock, depending on the rise.
exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's remind everyone how we can contact you, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Either phone, I love phone, 843-457-1749, or email is sccustominteriors@gmail.com. And you can also request the contact card on our website at sccustominteriors.com.
Perfect. All right. What else did you have in mind for your listeners today? We only
I
have,
think
oh my gosh, 5 minutes
I
left
know
because we started a late start. Oh,
I know we had a late start because of technology. We
it
should just
happens.
go back to like old school and video everything and just sit in a
Right?
tape. I think one of the biggest things I wanted to touch on with summer like coming around and everybody kind of doing those spring refreshes is taking care of the interiors that you already have in your home. I
Okay.
like to tell people if they want to refresh, shop within your home. I do it all the time. If you have a chair in one room and you want to change some stuff around, switch your furniture, pull a chair out from another room, pop it in the room that you're working on, do new paint. You can always order like new draperies and clean those. Everything that you can do within your own home will save money just on a budget. And then if you're looking for newer things, always go to Amazon, like Bed Bath and Beyond. Like you don't have to spend a ton of money just to do a spring refresh, just to make it feel like, something's a little bit different in here.
Got it. And I love that. I just went to like there's a home good. Do you have home goods near you or the home
Love
store?
Home Goods.
It's so tempting. It's as you walk in, there's so many nice things, and it's like, I want to refresh, I want to redo. And one thing I've learned though, my problem is if I bring in, I should take out, and I never do. So then it ends up a cluttered space, and you don't like cluttered spaces.
I hate clutter, honestly, I do. One thing since we were talking about Home Goods, I always like to remind people if you do go to Home Goods, it's overwhelming. Yes. So go in there with a purpose, first of all. Second of
Okay.
all, things to stay away from are anything with text on it. If it says kitchen or farm fresh eggs or anything that labels your space in word form, stay away from it. It's a lower interior thing and it makes things look cheap for lack of a better term.
Thank you for
Uh,
that. All right, that's it. There's
Yeah,
a lot of those type of things out there. Yes.
exactly. And when you're in there, the small little tchotchkes that you put on shelves and like plants and things, stick to the number three rule when you try and style your shelving. Large piece, medium piece, stacked pieces, stacked smaller things. It helps keep things very streamlined and clean, and it doesn't get cluttered. So grouping of threes on your shelving will tend to help one large thing and then skip down a couple things. Also, when you're in there and you're looking at pillows, anything with a poly insert, don't get it. Stick with the down inserts, the pillows that you can chop in the middle and make it have like little ears on the top.
Mm-hmm.
You want to stick with those down-filled pillows instead of the poly pillows. It gives your home a more high-end luxury interior designer look, and it's not so thrown together, and it looks like there's structure to everything.
Got it. Well, thank you for the tips today. And let's remind everyone how we can reach out to you and what's the process like? Do you offer initial consult? How does that part work?
Yeah, 100%. Whenever you're on our website, sccustominteriors.com, there is a fill out form that you can get in touch with one of us. And within 24 hours, we'll reach back out to you and set up either an email or a phone call consultation. And that just kind of goes over what it is that you're looking for, what you want to do. And from there, we work on budget and price point and things like that. So really, it's just to get to know you on the phone consultation and then see how we can help you the best. And we do that through the link on our website or an email, sccustominteriors@gmail.com or 843-457-1749.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here again. Great to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Good to see
Enjoy
you.
the rest of the week. Happy hump day. And thank you for the insight today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jill. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Have a great day.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.